Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Rolls-Royce Phantom VIII. This is the Series 2. The first Phantom was launched in 1925. This is the 8th generation of the Phantom, the facelifted model. That's the reason there have been changes made to the face, because the lights get this starlight treatment. These are all LEDs, of course. In fact, they can project up to 600 meters. Here you can see the Rolls-Royce logo on the inside, and this DRL line actually matches that of the grille, making a line of sorts. The grille has been revised a bit, but other than that, it is very similar to the pre-facelifted model. Now this is the key of the vehicle. This to unlock the car, this is to lock the car, and this is to open the boot of the vehicle. That's about it. Okay, it has this Wi-Fi signal, I don't know for what. This color actually matches that of the coach line as well as the interior, and the grille actually illuminates at night. Even this illuminates, yeah, right below the beautiful Spirit of Ecstasy. Now, the grille is really very big. It's known as the waterfall grille. It doesn't open or close. There's a camera here. You can actually place something right there. That is the sensor for radar functions. You get front parking sensors. You get a towing hook, of course. And the color of this car is Montverde, something like that. You get 44,000 color options, which is insane. Straight away, let's open the engine bay, which means I just pull it upwards. There's insulation here, of course. This is the last of the V12. Yes, it is a 6.75 liter V12 engine, which is handcrafted. You get a strut brace right there. It's very hot right now. There is where the washer fluid actually goes. The engine bay is like humongous. So let's just shut this. Now, you cannot steal the Spirit of Ecstasy, because if you try to do that, it will go back inside and hide itself. You can see the indicator functioning right now. This car is more than 2 meters wide. It's a huge car. In fact, this is the short wheelbase version. No, this is not the EWB, which is the extended wheelbase. This short wheelbase version of the Rolls-Royce Phantom is still almost 5.8 meters in length. The extended wheelbase version is 220 mm longer, resulting in a length of almost 6 meters. This wheelbase is 3.6 meters. The extended wheelbase has a wheelbase of 3.8 meters, almost that much. That's crazy. In fact, you can see for a limo or a sedan, this is actually quite tall at almost 1.7 meters. In fact, it is taller than SUVs like the Grand Vitara and the Hyryder as well, which is absolutely maddening. You can also get the steel disc design, which is obviously known as the Thali wheels in India. Rolls-Royce logo right there, because you get this black colored brake caliper. In fact, you can see Rolls-Royce logo on the cap of the place where you fill air. That's also amazing. And the Rolls-Royce logo always points in the right direction, because these are weighted in a way that they always point in the right direction, which is amazing. You don't have to manually do it. There you can see the suspension as well. There's this reflector here, which looks kind of cheap. This obviously extends to the side as well. This is an indicator, Rolls-Royce logo on the side too. And this coach line which you see, that costs around rupees 2 lakhs. The paint costs around rupees 17 lakhs. The dual tone paint actually costs rupees 17 lakhs. Obviously the color looks really nice. That is known as peony pink. So they have very weird naming for the colors. It's a huge car. It's absolutely crazy. But the ride height also gets altered. There's obviously a camera here, because it gets 360-degree parking camera. This looks very, very, very cheap. This should be hidden, of course. But in case this stops working, you can actually press this and remove it, which will take both hands, of course, and then put it there, which will rarely happen. Okay, you've got request sensors here, just in case. You get a shark fin antenna right there. In fact, let me open this as well. This is very premium, huh? The way the fuel filler cap is extremely premium, finished in chrome. This car doesn't use plastic at all. It's so eco-friendly. Anyways, coming to the tires again at the rear, 285 40 22s. So yes, they are 40 mm wider here. And my goodness, the tires are huge, specially made for this car with a collaboration with Continental. See the width of these tires, absolutely crazy. Now let's do one thing, let's get inside, which means opening the coach doors. There they open quite wide, okay, almost 90 degrees, which is insane. There's an umbrella here. Now I know you will say Skoda also offers umbrellas, but this umbrella costs more than the whole Skoda car. So very premium umbrella, absolutely fantastic in terms of quality. Let me just put it back right in there. And this carpet is made of lamb's wool. It's super soft. It's like next level soft. In fact, even the hooks for this, somewhere here you can see, they are made of metal. Yeah, no plastic used in this car. Absolutely next level stuff. Lot of leather, crazy leather. First things first, what we are going to do is we are going to recline the seat. So there you have a recline angle for the rear seat. Now obviously Rolls-Royce does not get into numbers because numbers are just numbers. They don't really mean much. What Rolls-Royce talks about is experience, and a next level experience in that regard. You can see beautiful velvet finishing there. In fact, this glass right here, okay, this is double glazed. It's 6 mm thick, and you know, that's for sound insulation. They've used 130 kgs of sound insulation in this car. Anyways, let's get inside. Now this is the short wheelbase version, so it doesn't really have too much space as such. I can press this button, push this seat all the way ahead in order to increase the legroom at the rear. And now obviously you want to close the door, right? How do you do that? Very simple. You press a button. First, let this go all the way ahead. Okay, now we have got good amount of legroom. I can push it even further. There's a button here called door. I press this, the door actually shuts. Yeah, that is cool. Okay, I left it so it did not shut. Now it has shut. There's some buttons here. Volume controller. Okay, this is for the footrest. So here I can raise the footrest by pressing a button, and there you see the footrest goes upwards. So that's also cool. But in the extended wheelbase version, you actually get ottomans. You press a button, it comes out. You can easily, you know, put your thighs there. So yes, that's also there. In fact, there's also a privacy suite version which has a glass here which partitions the cabin, which is soundproof, so you can't hear anything at all. That's so amazing. There's storage space here, of course, and if you want to open this, you press a button there, it opens. But you know what, pressing a button here and then have to manually control the screen is not that cool. So you're going to press a button right here and then press this, and once I do that, you can see the screen also turns on, the screen also comes out. Now this is not touch. You have to operate it using this, and you get the regular bits which you get at the front as well, so you can operate almost everything. And this overrides the front screen and the front system, which is kind of cool. So I'm just going to shut this by pressing this button, and there it shuts. Easy peasy, right? Now it has one of the biggest mirrors I have seen at the rear with lights, of course. That's kind of cool, and lights are placed here as well on the top. These are the controls for the Starlight headliner, which you can see right here. You know what? This is actually replicated with the Constellation on top of Goodwood, where the Rolls-Royce factory is, of course. And it occasionally also shows you a shooting star. 1340 LEDs are put into the roof by two people, taking 9 to 13 hours. It's absolutely insane. So there's no sunroof here, of course, because of this Starlight headliner. But people in Karol Bagh fit this to Ciaz and Vernas. I'm not even kidding. Says airbag here, leather treatment, really very premium, and lot of metal. Like, this guy's got a lot of metal, so you can control almost everything using this, of course. In fact, I'll just open it once again, press of a button, everything comes out. It is so freaking smooth. Now if I want to turn on massage, there's a button here. I press this button and there it gets into the massage menu. So plenty of massage options as well. Now the thing is that all the AC controls are placed here. So this is for the passenger sitting here, so everyone gets their own independent one. There's some light right there, obviously chrome treatment, bespoke audio system, speaker, tweeter. This opens because smoking is apparently cool. So here is the cigarette lighter, and there is an ashtray as well. These are the controls for the air conditioning, and you see it says soft, medium, high and maximum. It does not say 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and this is to control the air conditioning, whether you want hot or whether you want cold. This is for seat heating, and it turns on like this. This is for ventilation. Ventilation doesn't seem to be in this car right now, so that's a bit of a bummer. I would have expected it to be there. Now here you see door pockets are actually big enough. Let me turn off the massage function. It gets memory seats. You can say up to 2 people settings. Door pockets are big enough here, but the door pockets at the front are small. Here you can shut the AC vents. So vents here as well. In fact, let me open this by pressing it like that, and there you see audio ports and a 12-volt charging socket. But this car does not get a single USB-C, so it's a bit old in that regard. Let me open this as well. Again, you've got a 12-volt charging socket / cigarette lighter. Oh, leather here as well, so that's very premium, of course. All the controls for seat adjustment are placed here. For the other side, it's placed right here, and this thing can be put up if you want to seat another passenger, because the center passenger does get a head. Yeah, the headrest is adjustable. You can, like, you have to pull it and it adjusts. Nice strapping. Yeah, look at the quality of everything, is just next level. But unfortunately, this car is not having side curtains. No, none of them are there. They are optional, of course, which is quite surprising to me. And here you get a refrigerator as well. So there you can see there is the champagne holder too. A lot of premium bits. The seats are really very comfortable. In fact, you can also opt for more eco-friendly bamboo seats, made with bamboo, of course, fabric ones, for the rear seat, just if you want to be eco-friendly. Nice pillow. You sink into this. In fact, there are 20 wood options, rather leather options, and 17 wood options in this car, and then you can put the Rolls-Royce logo wherever you feel like. So that is the level of customization possible. That is the beautiful dashboard of this car. Ultra luxurious. There is no bad quality at all. In fact, everything is metal. Everything inside this car is made of metal. Good amount of space. Center passenger won't be comfortable because of this hump, of course. And that's about it. I think let's get out, which means opening these doors, which takes some effort to open. You can see this. Yeah, because opening is a little difficult. Closing is not. And there is this hook as well. So amazing next level seats. In fact, it says something here in Arabic which says objects in the rear view mirror are closer than they appear. And obviously it's got a blind spot monitor as well. In order to shut this door, it's very easy. All I have to do is just tap it like this, and there it closes. What I don't understand though, that when I want to close the door from the outside, I just press it once. From the inside, I have to keep it pressed. Why? Why more effort on the inside? So the driver has been given preference. Okay, now this obviously has this black treatment. Otherwise, it has the biggest steel used in any car, which extends all the way here from the A pillar to the B pillar to the C freaking pillar. Now coming to the rear of this car, again, very traditional Rolls-Royce type design, and it sort of slopes down here. There is the camera, which you can see right there. Rolls-Royce logo, of course. You get rear parking sensors. That is the towing hook. You get 2 exhaust outlets on each side. So Faisal Khan's fingers of truth will always stay away from this exhaust, and because these are real exhausts. And there you can see the underbody of this vehicle. Now let's do one thing. Let's open the boot, and there it opens. Boot is actually big enough. It's quite big, and then it obviously has this amazing carpeting here. In case you're stuck in the boot, you can pull this to open the boot from the inside, and here is where the fuse box is kept along with the first aid kit. So let's just shut this, warning triangle and all. You don't get a spare wheel. Notice one thing, Rolls-Royce here as well. So every icon in this car is actually the Phantom. That is the level of attention to detail which Rolls-Royce does. Now let's get again inside the rear, because we can. And yeah, doors are actually very heavy. They have put insulation on the doors, on the headliner, in the hood, every possible way, in the boot also. So there is no sound which comes in, and these seats actually get ISOFIX function. So obviously you cannot operate the driver's seat from here, because for safety reasons, of course, you're not allowed to do so. And there are lights here as well. In case you want to see how you're looking, there's a mirror there. So it's like crazy attention to detail and crazy stuff. In fact, if you notice, there's a speaker and tweeter right there as well, and a huge parcel shelf. So let's get to the driver's side, or rather to the driver's door. There it shuts, and then I'm going to open it. First things first, if you notice, indicator is blinking right here, and doors open quite wide as such. It says Phantom here. In fact, a subwoofer is placed somewhere here. So I don't know how and where they put stuff. Okay, here is the production date and the chassis number. Tells you the tire pressure recommendation, and this plaque which also tells you some vital information about the car, including Rolls-Royce, Goodwood. Here are the seat adjustment, including lumbar adjustment. In fact, under thigh support is never an issue, because I press a button and there it opens. In fact, if you notice, the seats are really very thick. It's crazy thick. And then obviously you have got memory function. So from here I can actually control the side seat. Yes, there's something which is very common in luxury cars, of course, but that's not all. I can actually press a button, and then once I do that, you'll notice that the steering wheel is moving, the seat is moving. So all the memory function gets saved with respect to your steering position as well as the seat position. That's kind of nice. There's this treatment here, I don't know for what, Okay, door pockets are actually small here. This is for the massage function, and for the seat heating is in the center console. There's no ventilation, you can opt for it obviously. Beautiful bespoke audio, amazing system, and beautiful wood treatment as well. It's amazing, trust me, it's amazing, this car. And then you get a proper dead pedal as well. You see there's a light there, that is the red bonnet release switch. Here you get an electric parking brake. This is the auto hold function. This is very old school. So these are the controls for the headlights. This is for the engine start. This is for the ADAS function. So I really like this, and I also like how you can actually, turn on and off the AC vent. Kind of nice. Let's get inside. So I'll press this button, and there closes the door. There's another button right next to it which will actually close this particular door. So what about the rear door? No, the chauffeur has to manually go there and do that. So that's kind of a bummer. Now if you notice, there is this huge glass which you don't see, but there's a glass here, toughened glass. So this is obviously not a touchscreen because the screen is right behind. This is the art gallery, so you can decide the design you want. There's a clock here which costs around rupees 4 lakhs. That's it, because in Bentley they offer you the option of getting a clock worth 2 crores. Yeah, 2 crores. This is very cheap in comparison. Anyways, this is a fully digital cluster. Power reserve meter, there is no tachometer, speedometer, and then fuel meter as well as temperature meter, and you get a lot of information here and there. In fact, I can browse through stuff below as well, which you can see. Steering feels really nice to hold. They made some changes to the steering wheel as well. This is obviously auto dimming, but I should flip this and there should be a camera behind. That's not there here. Here you get a mirror along with the light. There should have been another sun visor. Come on, we are in the Rolls-Royce Phantom, the most luxurious car in the world, and then light has been placed here. Very bright light. Trust me, this is a very bright light. So I think they've placed a speaker right here, heads-up display as well. And this thing obviously can be customized. Almost everything can be customized. The glove box is not lockable, but there seems to be a provision for having a keyhole there. That is actually the fire extinguisher, which is mandatory in the UAE. And a lot of beautiful leather. Car feels really very nice, but no height adjustable seat belts. That's kind of shocking. Here obviously you get a mirror along with a light as well. So if you see, the dashboard looks like other Rolls-Royce cars, which is quite premium. This thing alone costs rupees 10 lakhs. Meanwhile, the Spectre also gets Starlight doors. This car also gets a Wi-Fi hotspot as well as a TV tuner. Yes, you can watch TV here. That is the art gallery. Looks beautiful. Now, how do you actually use this screen since it's not touchscreen? You see there's a glass right ahead. Well, you open this and there comes the controller. So this is for parking sensors, this is to increase or decrease the ride height, and this is for the cameras. The cameras are obviously turned on right now. So we are just going to get into the camera system again because it is a beautiful camera system. Again, identical to BMW cars. So here we are just going to see various ways of the camera. So I can turn it around and see different things. There you see, it works fantastically well. In fact, this camera is identical to the one which we see in BMW cars. So there's nothing new right here. And there you can see the different 360-degree bird's eye view, which again matches the color of the car, but it's not so much attention to detail either because I cannot see the coach line, the pinstripe, that is missing right now, but the quality is just next level. In fact, you can browse through almost everything from here itself. You can see it says map, navigation and all. The thing is that this is identical to the BMW system. Yeah, it is identical. All the menus and all also are very similar. So they have not differentiated it. In fact, this is the biggest thing which comes from BMW, the whole electronic bit. Let me actually remove the Spirit of Ecstasy, which I had put back inside. You can also decide how you want the light to work, whether you want the light when it's stationary or not. All the other systems are so identical. It's a very slick system to use, and obviously it's got bespoke audio, which is next level in terms of quality. Audio test at the end of this video, you should not miss it. It sounds unbelievably nice. Here I can get into media, radio, I can get into the usual bits. It is a bit old compared to the newer systems from BMW, but hey, I would pick this any day, every day. Here, vehicle status, tire pressure monitor is there, and the usual bits. Now the thing is, below here you've got a wireless charging pad. This thing glows blue when you activate it, and again you get a 12-volt charging socket. Yeah, it is decent size, not very big as such. And right here, these are the controls for the outside rearview mirror adjustment, which is again quite quirky. Metal switches, these are for the power window controls, of course. This is actually to open the boot of the vehicle, wrong place because you're accidentally going to hit it for sure. And then you can actually shut the doors by pulling like this, but then since you have the button here, why would you even do that? You would never do that, right? Now it says airbag right here, Rolls-Royce logo on the steering wheel. Of course, a lot of buttons. So these are for the cruise control. This is to increase or decrease the distance for the adaptive cruise control. Again, cruise control buttons. These are for the audio system, of course. This is for voice commands. And the only cheap bits are these levers. Yes, this is for the wiper. This is for the gas selector. And that low mode is something which I'll explain while driving. And this is for the indicators. Yeah, these feel cheap. Even this feels cheap, the adjustment of the steering wheel. So this could be better quality, but then that's something only the driver will encounter. So Rolls-Royce really does not care about it. Neither do the owners, of course. Now this is the volume controller, hazard light. This is to lock and unlock the car. This is for the CD changer. It's got 2 CD changers, which is kind of crazy. Again, here it says soft, medium, high. No, it does not say 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, it does not give the temperature here. There's just a slider. Red is obviously for heating and blue is obviously for cooling, and other AC buttons. Now here you've got twin cup holders with RR logo right there. In fact, here you've got an ashtray. Yeah, this looks like an ashtray to me. Where will you keep your phone? The phone will not fit here. In fact, there's some storage here. This is so big now that 3 phones, one on top of another, can actually fit in. So that's kind of impressive. Let me just shut this because I don't need it right now. So why have it in the first place? Now there are no buttons for traction control or drive mode selector. It's very simple. Rolls-Royce does not complicate stuff. And the horn, it sounds like this. There's very little plastic in this car. In fact, this is also made of metal, the cover for the microphone, and all the icons are of the Phantom. There you can see, yes, that is actually a Phantom. This is for heating. So when you turn on the heating, it will also heat the armrest here as well as here. This is for steering heat. Meanwhile, it gets connected car. It gets Apple CarPlay, which does not work wirelessly. Android Auto is not there, I guess. These seats are a bit tilted so that it's easy to make a conversation when you're striking a multi-billion-dollar deal. Now, there are 3 seats here. You can opt for 2 seat as well with a massive center console, which should be the case with such very expensive cars. It also gets the option of an infrared camera, which is like a night vision camera. You can actually push this ahead like that. This is actually another glove box. To open it, you have to press this button and there it opens. It gets a light. It also gets a USB charging socket. Meanwhile, these 8 buttons are touch sensitive. So when I hover my finger, you can see it is showing something. So 1 to 6 is unassigned, 7 and 8 is assigned. 8 actually lowers the Spirit of Ecstasy and also brings it back up. So yes, a direct shortcut for the same. And 7 puts this down. Yes, the 10.25 inch screen goes down by pressing this button. And then you can see the full art gallery. I'm just going to get it back up. Whenever you turn on the car, it actually shows the Rolls-Royce logo in a very nice manner. And then it says, "Welcome to Phantom." Meanwhile, it shows you exactly who is not belted up here. In fact, I'll just open the door. It also shows which door is open. It also shows it in the heads-up display. I'm just going to turn off the car and it's silent anyways. It's on or off. It's always silent. Let's get out. I love the way this hood door operates, but you know what? This also illuminates at night. Meanwhile, there's some light which actually comes out from under here. Yes, some lights come out so that you can spot the door. Meanwhile, Rolls-Royce cars are the only cars in the world which are not tested by NCAP. No, NCAP does not test these cars because they're just too expensive. Who's going to sponsor the testing? But Rolls-Royce obviously does its own internal tests, and that's the reason why owners have to pay so much for customized versions like the boat tail. Meanwhile, this umbrella says umbrella here. Okay, let me just bring it out. Now there are actually drying channels inside. Yes, so that the umbrella dries completely. But you know what is the funny part? Okay, first let's open this umbrella. There it opens. So the umbrella is designed in a way that it resists water. So the umbrella itself does not get wet. You don't have to have drying channels, but it does have those pathways to ensure that it is always dry. So whenever you use the umbrella next, even after a pouring raindrop, there's no problem. I'm just going to lock the car. It doesn't make any sound. It's just so silent. And we are going to try and put all the windows down by pressing a button. And there comes all the windows down. That's something you would expect, right? It also gets connected car tech, but disappointingly, there are just 2 colors for the ambient lighting. And that is also one color because there's cool white and warm white. Mercedes offers 64 freaking colors. Why is Rolls-Royce offering only 2? BMW also offers 11 colors. Audi offers 30 colors. But anyways, it's about the magic carpet ride. So let's start driving right away. Alright, let's start driving. If you notice, the screen is gayab. You can see the art gallery right there. As soon as I turn on the car, there the screen actually comes up. That's amazing, and it says welcome to Phantom. And straight away we start driving, doors lock on their own, and we are off very, very, very smoothly. So the thing is that the driving experience of this car will reduce your heartbeat because it is just so smooth and refined. A Rolls-Royce is all about the smoothness and refinement. You can't hear a thing on the inside. Obviously 130 kgs of insulation, but you know what? They have actually worked with Continental to make tires which don't make any sound whatsoever. So there is actually 2 kgs of material in each tire for better insulation. They've put foam, I believe, so that it absorbs all the sound, and it works brilliantly well. Okay, straight away I'm going to put the cruise control system on, and there you can see it is adaptive cruise control, of course. So I've set the speed around 100 kilometers per hour. It will automatically brake when there's someone ahead, and I can decide the distance from here. So I'm just going to increase the distance, and then obviously it is going to apply brakes on its own. It's just going to come to another lane here. I'm going to increase the speed a bit. So adaptive cruise control works really well, and the best thing is all the symbols are obviously Phantom. So if there's someone who comes in my line of sight, it'll actually show me a Phantom symbol right there in the heads-up display. And a heads-up display here is very important because you usually would not see here because you're too busy enjoying life. And then all of a sudden, when you are driving, you realize that you're driving too fast, because when you're doing 120, 130, the car feels like it's driving at 40-50 kilometers per hour. It is just so freaking silent, smooth, and refined as well. You don't hear a thing. That is the level of refinement they have somehow managed to achieve with this car. Oh my god, what levels of insulation. So a Rolls-Royce is all about sound insulation, keeping the whole world outside the car. And beyond that, okay, there I can see it's showing me the Phantom symbol, but it's a truck right ahead, and it will automatically start applying brakes. So the car is slowing down on its own because I've kept that distance right now. As soon as I get into another lane out of sight of that car, it will automatically pick up pace. There it does the same. Here I'm just going to turn off cruise control system right away. The ride quality is unbelievable. It's so smooth. It's like you're wafting along, you're gliding through on the road. It feels like you're driving on air. That is the level of ride quality here. So a Rolls-Royce car has the most unbelievable ride quality in the whole world. Trust me, you don't hear or feel anything. No bump can be felt on the road, obviously, because the ride is super smooth. So it's got electronically controlled adaptive dampers. It's got air springs, obviously air suspension is there, self-leveling air suspension. It has the biggest chamber for the air suspension of any Rolls-Royce car, and that's the reason it drives so smoothly. Yeah, it's unbelievable. There are 2 cameras here which scan the road surface ahead and make changes to the suspension accordingly to prevent any bump being felt on the inside. And that's the reason when all these bumps come, it's able to read all of them and make changes to the suspension. I was following this car and I could actually see all this happen in real time. My goodness, it is absolute crazy electronic trickery because it works fantastically well. Yeah, it is just unbelievable how beautifully well the suspension works. It isolates almost everything outside and it's amazing. Honestly, I love it. And the car's main rival, or the only rival, or sort of the closest rival, is right in front. Okay, that is actually not the flying spur. The flying spur is the thing which comes closest to the Rolls-Royce Phantom, more like Ghost and flying spur, or Mercedes-Maybach and Ghost and flying spur. Definitely no competition for this Phantom. Around the corners also, it just picks up pace so nicely. I get on the throttle. What a smooth, nice pull. It does not at all in any way feel that you are pushing it hard, because the performance is so smooth and measured. It's not a shove, it's just a relentless pull. Okay, you don't feel anything. It just keeps pulling. There is no lack of thrust or power here. There's just so much grunt on offer. Unbelievable. The performance and the sporty sound is not fake. Why will they want to put more sound in? That is actually from this engine itself. So it does make some sound, but you would not mind it because you're happy with the beautiful sound of that V12 motor, which, by the way, is the last internal combustion engine from Rolls-Royce. Yeah, that is a bit saddening, of course. Here I've given an indicator. Making a turn and all is not difficult at all here. The thing is, obviously this is not a big turn, but otherwise when you're making sharp turns, just remember one thing: it has got rear wheel steering. Yes, the first and only Rolls-Royce car to get it right now. And the moment you all have been waiting for, which means I get into the menu, I will get into vehicle settings straight away, and I am actually going to change the stability control to traction. which is basically a sporty version of traction control system. No, you cannot turn it off. I'm going to get into low mode. So there's a low mode as well. And this actually makes sound because this is also made of metal. Unbelievable, okay? Hazard lights off, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Unbelievable the way this car accelerates. It's just so freaking smooth and relentless. So this is powered by 6 and a 3/4, I think. Okay, I'm not able to tell the right word, but there's someone who's going to launch a Lamborghini right ahead. Their phone is lying right there, so we should not spoil their party. Let them launch their car. Now I think he's going to come and remove the phone. Okay, he's telling me to go ahead because he wants to launch his car. That is a beautiful Huracan. And I don't think we can see it because the height of this car is such that that's just not possible. So anyways, it's time to launch. Again, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Notice how the car squats from below, from behind that is. And off we go. Top speed is 250 kilometers per hour, and this 8-speed gearbox is so smooth. It's so smooth you can't hear it at all. So this is actually an 8-speed torque converter unit from ZF. It has seamless shifts. You don't realize when a shift happens, it's that smooth and soft. In fact, there are no paddle shifters. No, there are no paddle shifters here because Rolls-Royce wants you to focus on the experience rather than worrying about making gear shifts. So that is another unbelievable thing about this car, that it's just about the experience. It's not about numbers here at all. What a beautifully well engineered car. This is easily the best car in the world. It drives really well for something this heavy and this big. Yeah, then obviously rear axle steering helps. So basically what it does is above 80 kilometers per hour, it turns by 1 degree in the same direction as the front wheels, which is basically to virtually enhance the wheelbase. The wheelbase is already so long. Why do you want to enhance it any further? For better high-speed stability, or rather even better high-speed stability. Now between 60 to 80 kilometers per hour, it does not move at all. No, it does not move. And this Phantom is the only Rolls-Royce car which has rear wheel steering. So it's the first Rolls-Royce car to get rear wheel steering, and the real use of the rear wheel steering is going to come here right now. You see there is this sand in between the road, so either you go over it or you take a U-turn. I'll take a U-turn, but once I went over it because it was a small patch, and then when I launched it, oh my goodness, traction control kicked in and let me splash some amount of sand. Here, I still have to take a reverse, but you know what? The rear wheel steering turns by up to 3 degrees in the opposite direction till speeds of 60 kilometers per hour to virtually reduce the wheelbase to make it more maneuverable. That is helpful for sure. And yeah, steering so freaking butter smooth. Onto the throttle. I love the way this engine performs. So this is a 6.75 liter V12 motor known as the N74B68. It is a twin turbo unit which produces 563 horsepower at 5000 RPM, and the torque output is 900 Newton meters at 1700 RPM. Result is 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.3 seconds. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes 5.4 seconds in the extended wheelbase because of 50 kgs extra weight. So this is 2560, that is 2610 kgs. The weight is a little heavier in the extended wheelbase, or the weight will obviously differ depending on what art gallery you want here. So depending on that also the weight changes as such. And let me just use the wipers to clean the windscreen, although it's clean, but I think some amount of sand and all is flying here and there. Traction levels are impeccable. There's so much grip. It's unbelievable how grippy this car is. Yeah, it has unbelievable grip, good amount of braking as well. I mean, very good brakes as well. In fact, under heavy braking, you can see the Rolls-Royce logo struggling to point in the right direction. In fact, this car has got new discs with the facelift. Anyways, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. No sound from the tires because even though traction control is on sport and all the power goes to the rear wheels, this is rear wheel drive of course, there's just no sound. So great amount of grip and traction. Now this one uses an aluminium space frame structure, which is known as the architecture of luxury in Rolls-Royce speak. No matter what you call it, it is basically something which is shared with the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, and this particular platform is 30% stiffer when compared to the Phantom VII, so they've stiffened things up. The Huracan is standing right in between, so we're just going to maneuver around it. That car sounds like an absolute beast. Enjoyed the launch? Now let's get back to the Rolls-Royce! nice. Around the corners, my goodness, it actually goes quite well. So it has got active anti-roll bars as well, and because it's 30% stiffer when compared to the Phantom VII, it really goes very well around the corners. Check this out. The steering is quite nice. Yeah, it is actually a car which is made to be driver oriented as well, because new owners of Rolls-Royce cars are younger in terms of age and they want to take to the wheel themselves. So compared to the Phantom VII, this is really very nice around the corner. So obviously there is body roll, but it's quite well contained, and then it is not really point and shoot. It feels a bit heavy, of course, but the steering does weigh up quite well. It's so light at low speeds, it's unbelievable. And somehow, I don't know how they managed to engineer this car, but I'm eating my words right now. It's so unbelievable, this car. And then we have hit a patch from where there is no coming back, because I can't come from there, obviously, right? So we'll figure something out, of course. Now, it comes with 4 years of warranty for the car and the powertrain as well, but it also comes with 4 years maintenance. Yes, yeah, and unlimited kilometers, right? That's amazing, right? Obviously, you're spending 11.2 crores on this car, including 37 lakhs for insurance every year, which is quite a lot. Oil service interval is 15,000 kilometers or 12 months, whichever is earlier. So that's that. Engine pulls so strongly now, it's quite unbelievable. So I've hit a patch from wherein we have to take a turn ourselves, so we're just going to do that. You don't hear anything. That's the level of smoothness and refinement. I don't know how they managed to achieve this, but this is a very silent car and supremely well engineered as well. I love it. It's unbelievable. Okay, and off we go again. I don't know how it does not wheel spin at all. This V12 engine is a monster of a machine. Okay, it has got 48 valves. It's got twin turbos, of course. It has to, because it's producing so much power and torque. And the thing is that this gearbox is unbelievably smooth. So how does it manage to be so smooth? So firstly, now it has got something. Okay, we have to go from the wrong direction here. So basically, it works with the GPS to understand the speed and location of the car, and basis that it times its shifts. How freaking revolutionary is that? Okay, now this car will not return more than 5 kilometers per liter. 3 to 5 kilometers per liter is the sweet spot of what you're going to get from this car, which is okay considering that this is obviously a very heavy car, but somehow you do not feel the weight of this car at all. You just don't feel the weight. Yeah, it is heavy, but you don't feel the weight at all. Okay, to make a quick turn, I thought I'll just do it this way, and yeah, we managed to do it a little bit offline, but still that's fine. It has a massive 100 freaking liter fuel tank. Yeah, 100 liter fuel tank as well. By the way, there is no sport mode, there is no drive mode, there's a low mode here, which actually makes the gear shifts faster by 25% and gives you more engine braking as well. And top speed is 250 kilometers per hour, but I'm 100% sure this car can cross that. High speed stability is fantastic. In spite of the size, you don't feel the weight, and I don't know how they managed to make this car, but trust me on this, what an amazing car. But like I was telling you, this is the last of the V12, because from here Rolls-Royce is going all electric. By 2030, all the Rolls-Royce cars will be electric only. Yeah, that's right. So there's not going to be a Phantom replacement, I believe, which will be having an internal combustion engine, which is very disappointing. Yeah, I feel really sad knowing such a thing is going to happen. Okay, let's launch again. Why is the tire not making any sound? The tires are not making any sound whatsoever. Red line comes in at 7,000 RPM. I'm eating my words, because honestly, I'm just baffled by the way this car drives. It's so freaking awesome. You can see the power reserve meter, which is anti-clockwise, bouncing all over the place. It's got an electronic power steering, which is nicely calibrated. The only thing is, when you are going across a corner, half the car is in the previous corner because of the sheer length of this car, which brings me to the history of the Rolls-Royce Phantom. So in 1925, the first generation of the Phantom was launched, and it continued for 6 generations till 1990, when Rolls-Royce got discontinued. The company shut down. Then BMW took over Rolls-Royce, and 2003 brought back the Phantom in Phantom VII Avatar, which was a massive success. That sold for 14 years. And then in 2017 came the Rolls-Royce Phantom VIII, the one here, the one you can see right there. By the way, the wheels are also moving when you're driving the car. That is the sheer level of attention to detail. And in 2022, the facelift of this car came. Now, they've shown the Spectre, which is an all-electric car. So basically, Rolls-Royce will go from V12 to battery electric vehicles. No downsizing like from V12 to V10 to V8 to V6 hybrid. No, straight away, directly V12 to battery power, because they know it. Nothing can replace a V12. No sort of hybrid V10 or V8 will do that for you. Oh, by the way, this is plastic, but it's a very high quality plastic, so you don't really realize that. And off we go. A little wheel spin. Anyways, so it's time for a story. What if you're not satisfied with the regular Rolls-Royce Phantom? Then what do you do? Well, obviously Rolls-Royce will give you the color of choice, and the color of your choice will then become part of Rolls-Royce's color options. That's how they have 44,000 colors. There's a guy, or Sardarji in UK, who has got a lot of Rolls-Royces, and the color of his cars actually match the color of his turban. So he had done a shade of yellow called Kesari, which is now part of the Rolls-Royce catalog as well. And if you're not satisfied with that also, then you can commission a bespoke Rolls-Royce, something like the boat tail, which sold for 300 crores. Why 300 crores? The car is for 100 crores, but they have to make 3 of them, 2 to crash test and get you road certificate and safety worthiness. For that, the customer has to pay 300 freaking crores for a car. Is like insane money, honestly. And for all those people who are like, that money could go to feed the poor, please understand that this money which goes to Rolls-Royce is creating employment in Rolls-Royce itself, and then obviously a lot of creativity and stuff like that. So when expensive stuff sells, it creates a lot of employment opportunities and also improves technology as well. So expensive cars are actually a good thing, and I'm not saying it because my job relies on it, but that is actually the fact. And air conditioning off. Actually, I'm turning on the air conditioning to cool myself as well as the camera. You can see it's starting to rain right now, which is quite unbelievable. Which brings me to another story. There was someone in the Middle East, a girl, daughter of a Arab, I believe, who wanted a very specific color for her Rolls-Royce Wraith. This story was actually told to me by people at the BMW museum in Welt when they were giving me a guided tour. So they told me very clearly that she was very picky about the color and she could not send the color to them. So she called the Rolls-Royce person there to her house, and it turned out to be a very exclusive paint shade which she wanted to be the color of a car. Now she refused to give the nail paint to them because it was very exclusive. So the Rolls-Royce guy actually had nail paint on his finger, which he took back to Goodwood to replicate that particular color for that girl's Rolls-Royce. Just imagine the level they go to give you exclusivity. And it is raining here right now in Dubai, which is un-freaking believable. Who would have thought? I was actually worried. I'm shooting at 12 p.m. right now, that would it be too hot? Would it be burning out the camera? No, it's not. It's raining. It's unbelievable. And if I have to sum up this car, I would do it in 3 sentences. 1, it's a land yacht. Secondly, it's the smoothest, quietest and most comfortable car in the world. And thirdly, it's like flying without going airborne. That is the Phantom for you. Phantom is a type of a ghost. A ghost is a ghost. A Wraith is also sort of a ghost. So Rolls-Royce names its cars behind such things. But now obviously the Cullinan is a diamond. So on that discovery, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this vlog, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That's a like button. And if you're still thinking, yes, it is extremely comfortable at the rear. So rear seat experience is next level as well. Now go and enjoy the audio experience and the beautiful Starlight headliner. Bye-bye.